Alright, so we're back out in the shop. Got the mega truck in here yesterday. Didn't get a whole lot done on it once we got it pulled in, but gonna try and get it finished up today. I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of what we have to modify after putting the new transfer case in it, because we swapped brands. I'll explain the difference on it in a little bit. So the truck's been up at the high school with Joseph and his students. They got the old tires swapped to the new wheels, and they're looking pretty good. They're actually a 1 inch wider offset, so this truck is 2 inches wider overall now, and made a big difference actually. Don't really have any good before pictures or views, but there's definitely a big difference. So excited to have those on, have them looking good, and big thanks to him and his students for getting it all cleaned up and transfer case swapped in. So let me show you what we got to change. So the difference between an SCS case and a FTI, they've got different, both companies have different sizes, but we were running a 15-inch FTI case, and now we're running a 12.6 or whatever SCS case, which is distance from the top shaft to the bottom shaft. Reason for that is the SCS runs such a big bull gear in the bottom that the distance from the shaft to the bottom of the case is a lot bigger on the SCS. So that's why you can get away with running the FTI with the 15, because you don't have it sticking down as far compared to the SCS. But anyways, this truck actually used to have an SCS when it was built, so it made it really easy to swap back in. The only difference here, you see, they had put in these drop down spacers to lower everything, line it up with the shaft being lower. We just had to put them back in the original holes, use these kind of as spacers, but the rear is attached differently, and so that's what we got to modify today. So in the rear, we call this part the U-joint guard or U-joint shield, in case the U-joint ever comes apart, and kind of keeps pieces from being able to fly out and hit any crowd or bystanders. But this part was made to bolt right here, and as you can see, that's going to be a little bit too low, so we've got to make a bracket to raise it up just a little bit, and then there's another top half that bolts onto those upper holes to go onto the other side, and then these bars here connect to it, and that allows it to slip with the drive shaft and everything. So I'm going to start taking some measurements and figuring out how I want to do this. Alright, I got these brackets made up. They don't look very good. They're not a whole lot of effort into them because they're going to be just for this. I'm not going to trust this to do any type of jumping or anything. I think the weight of the containment itself will actually end up pulling those off. So over this off season, when we have the motor out and more room to work, I will make a more permanent solution, but we're going to get these thrown in just for this event. So let's get them in there. Here's what our oil looks like after the last run. It was real chilly, probably about, I don't know, mid 50s the night we were running. So alcohol attracts a lot of condensation, and whenever I pulled the valve covers a minute ago, there's a ton of condensation up under them. Just this time of year, we get a lot more condensation, and it all accumulates in the oil. But that's why with methanol, you gotta change your oil after every run, because especially if you're running like way rich, it'll produce even more. Our oil normally doesn't look this bad, but like I said, with the cooler temperatures, it's attracting a little bit more condensation. Alright guys, gonna end it off there. Gonna finish putting some oil in it and put the covers back on, and after that it's time to load up in a couple days and head down this weekend. If you've never heard of Cleetus and Cars, definitely look up some of the previous events. It's a really fun time with a bunch of cool people and a lot of cool vehicles doing some crazy stuff. So I'm real excited to be a part of it. Had a good time earlier this year, and hopefully we can do a lot better. Last time was my first time and put on a good show, but wasn't quite competitive. So we're going to try and change that this time. So be sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, because after this event, pulling the motor out to send it off and get it freshened up, transmission, I want to go through the shocks. So it'll be a lot of cool technical stuff showing you how some of the things in these trucks work. So if you enjoy that kind of stuff, definitely subscribe to keep up with everything. Appreciate it. We'll see you later.